Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Mike Tomlin, Malik Cunningham's running ability can really create anxiety on short week. While the New England Patriots haven't had much offensive success with QBs Mac Jones and Bailey Zappe, they do have a third quarterback on their active roster in undrafted rookie Malik Cunningham. Cunningham has played just 6 snaps for New England this season, with 2 at quarterback and 4 at wide receiver. But the Patriots kept him active against the Los Angeles Chargers, and if they do so again, Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin is worried about Cunningham's ability as a runner. Cunningham ran for 3,182 yards and 50 touchdowns in 5 seasons at Louisville, and he also added 39 yards on 6 attempts while running in the preseason. Tomlin talked about how someone like Cunningham is a guy who creates anxiety for coaches and players on a short week. Malik Cunningham is the guy that creates something that's a little bit different. They had 3 quarterbacks active last week. We know his resume at Louisville, so a guy like that with that type of running skills really creates anxiety on a short week. He could show up and do some wildcat-like things of that nature. So, that's something that's different that has our attention. He added that Cunningham can bring dramatically different schematics than what the Patriots usually run with Jones and Zappe, and that's worrisome given that it's a short week. The other issue for the Patriots when it comes to preparing for Cunningham is that there just isn't much NFL tape to go off of. I'm sure the Steelers are going back to the preseason when Cunningham played 3 games, throwing 6 passes and running the ball 6 times, but his skill set is going to be tough to prepare for. Tomlin also talked about Cunningham bringing a different dynamic during his Tuesday press conference. So it's clearly something that the Steelers are worried about and planning on New England trying to break out on a short week. A short week with less time to prepare is a good time to throw something tricky into the playbook, especially with 2 weeks of practice time. However, the Steelers do have experience against mobile quarterbacks this season, including Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, so they might be ready to stop Cunningham. We'll have to see what happens on Thursday and whether or not the Patriots do decide to play Cunningham and if he can make an impact. Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin is a fan of one particular New England Patriots position group ahead of Thursday night's matchup. Tomlin praised the safety group, specifically Jabril Peppers and Kyle Dugger. Peppers and Dugger have both played crucial roles on the defensive side of the football this year. Peppers has 66 tackles and an interception this season, while Dugger has recorded 74 tackles and 2 interceptions. Tomlin knows what both guys bring to the table, and he is not taking them lightly, as transcribed by NESN.com's Sean T. McGuire. Both guys are capable of playing in deep defense and said Tomlin. Both guys are capable of playing at the linebacker level and functioning on the second level of defense, and capable tacklers, good at shedding blocks, big blockers, offensive linemen. They're not foreign to playing in the trenches. Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren named one of NFL's top 3 RB duos. Throughout the history of football, there have been plenty of great 1-2 punches at the running back position. Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside in Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis are the first that come to mid Larry Kasonka and Mercury Morris with the Miami Dolphins. Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even Jim Brown and Bobby Mitchell with the Cleveland Browns come to mind. The duo of Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren isn't anywhere close to that standing just yet, if ever, but they do form one of the best duos in the NFL today. At least, according to former NFL running back and NFL Network media member Maurice Jones-Drew, who himself was part of a great RB tandem with Fred Taylor for many years in Jacksonville. Though this might not be the sexiest pick, the Steelers join the Lions as the only teams with 2 running backs ranking in the top 25 in rushing yards through Week 13. Pittsburgh leans on its rushing attack, featuring a true 2-back system, with Harris and Warren often swapped in and out by the series. Harris's numbers aren't spectacular this season, but he's the one wearing down the defense for Warren, the more explosive of the two, to feast later on in games. The Steelers still currently hold a wild card spot, but there's little room for error. With Mitch Trubisky replacing an injured Kenny Pickett at quarterback, expect Pittsburgh to look to Harris and Warren frequently. On the season, Harris has rushed for 661 yards and 4 touchdowns on 159 carries, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. Warren has rushed for 601 yards and 3 touchdowns on 102 carries, averaging 5.9 yards per carry. Surprisingly though, Harris has more explosive runs with 12 20-plus yard runs on the season. As Jones-Drew points out, Harris is the one wearing defenses down, and then Warren comes in as the change-of-pace back and can really rip up defenses. Both are very good at what they do, and they fit perfectly what it means to be a Steelers running back, hard-nosed, tough as nails, refusing to go down on first contact. That duo has helped carry the Steelers' offense this season. In the last 5 weeks, the Steelers have rushed for 166, 205, 172, 153 and 130 yards, good for an average of 165.2 yards per game. That's a testament to the work Harris and Warren are doing running the football. Much like they did last season, the Steelers have leaned heavily on the run game since the bye week. That's their clear identity, and it's clicking. Now, they just need to score more points. With Mitch Trubisky under center for the injured Kenny Pickett, expect more work for Harris and Warren, especially as the Steelers push for the playoffs. NFL rumors: Steelers expressing interest in Zach Ertz. The Steelers are among the few NFL teams considered Super Bowl contenders this season. With this typically comes interest in veteran free agents to fill out the roster at the end of the season and for the playoffs. The Steelers have expressed strong interest in tight end Zach Ertz and are an option for the former Super Bowl champion following his departure from the Arizona Cardinals, according to Matt Barrows. Ertz could wait to make his decision until next week, with the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles among the teams inquiring about Ertz. Ertz, 33, was discharged as per his request last Thursday and released shortly after. He is free to sign with any NFL team and has plenty of suitors as teams gear up for the run. It's easy to be curious as to why the Steelers would want Ertz. Peel back a few layers and it starts to make a little more sense. For starters, Zach Ertz isn't what he used to be, and teams that are intrigued by the prospect of adding him to their offense need to recognize that. He is no longer a Pro Bowl caliber player and has missed time due to injury in each of the last 2 seasons. Given the circumstances, the chance to make the championship roster as a reserve, with the opportunity to win another ring, probably appeals to Ertz. There are few, if any, better options than the Steelers, if that is the case. Zach Ertz should be on a new team next week. Will he call Steelers home for the next 2 months? And you fan, what do you think of the Zach Ertz situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.